Hi, everybody. It's Karon Thackston with marketingwords.com. So glad to have you here for an interview with Bryant of Fidose of Reality.com, aka Dexter's mom. She is somebody I have admired for a long time for a variety of different reasons. She has created her very own brand in addition to working with some of the best well-known brands in pet care and pet food and other pet related industries. So she knows her stuff. But what I really wanted to drill down on today with Carol is blogging, being a professional blogger. How do you get through the day? How do you monetize your blog? How do you get your message out without butchering what your purpose is, but you still have to make a living? So we're going to go through some of this today with Carol. And before I officially bring her in, you can see her over there, but I want to read you some of this, and I'm not even going to attempt to memorize it because she is one smart lady and got a lot of things going on. As a repeat nominee for the Dog Writers of America Maxwell Medallion and the winner of the 2015 Women in the Pet Industry Woman of the Year in the advocacy category, Carol Bryant is dedicated to serving the pet industry from a journalistic, pet parent, social media, marketing, and philanthropic perspective. She has appeared on lots of television segments, radio shows, podcasts, speaking engagements, and has contributed to numerous pet publications, including Blog Paws, Dogster, Paw Culture, Dog Fancy, Fido Friendly, Pet 360. There's a lot here. There's a whole list here. So I am so excited to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. What an introduction. Yeah, I pretty much live dogs, so I think that sums it up.
I know, pretty much live dogs. That's awesome. I would be interested in starting with Carol Bryant 1.0. Before you became a blogger, I think I read medical transcriptionist.
I did.
Medical transcriptionist. So what in that, if anything, maybe nothing, but what in that made you want to go look for something else? And how do you transition from medical transcriptionist to professional blogger?
Yeah, so I went back to college as an adult. I've never lived my life by the rule book. Any path that I've ever taken is one that colored outside of the lines, so to speak. Yeah. And my mantra is look at what everyone else is doing and then don't do that. Just don't do that. That's it. That's pretty much how I live my life. I believe in living a life of kindness and respect. And so that applies to myself too. And I took a good hard look at myself. I wasn't happy as a medical transcriptionist, triple degree in college, and went back as an adult, and and I'm going to be a writer, and I want to help animals. And what in the world am I doing medical transcription? I fell into it. It was one of those, I just kind of fell into it, and I wasn't happy. After 5 years, I was at the top of my game, and I was writing content to train others, and I just wasn't happy. And then I lost my dog. I lost my first Cocker Spaniel. And something about being in that room and having to make that decision to let them go woke me up. I needed to do more. And I looked at the clock on the calendar, so to speak, and I wasn't getting any younger. So I decided I'm going to just give everything up, and my spouse will support me for a short time, and I will throw myself into the dog world. So where? Blogging was just coming into its own. Back then, a few folks, crazy folks, were blogging, and I pitched myself to a dog magazine, and I said, you guys have so much going on, but you don't have a blog. Why? So they said, you're right, you're hired. And simultaneously was creating a blog for them and learning by the seat of my pants. I had no clue what I was doing. I was just Googling, and it's all, and that's sometimes the best way to do it is baptism by fire. Jump in, take a chance. If you fail, you really didn't. You start over again. But I built my blog and their blog simultaneously. And so I was learning by the seat of my pants when blogging was basically coming into its own. And oh my goodness, best decision I ever made.
Do you think of yourself as an overachiever? Yeah, an awful lot going on.
I do. I was that girl who, I gave up things in college and school so I could study. I was that nerd who studied, and always around the dogs though. And yeah, I consider myself an overachiever. Definitely somebody who wants it all. That's not negative either. Why not want it all?
No, I didn't mean it negative. It's just you kept saying degree and
Yeah,
triple
I think
major
some
and
people
this
look
and
at it
that.
that way though. I've had folks who,
Yeah.
oh, you're an overachiever, and I don't know about that. No, embrace who you are, right?
You just intimidated them. That's all. That's
Oh.
all. All right. So we move. You said spouse was going to support you for a limited amount of time. How much time did you have to get up on your feet, so to speak?
A year. We gave it a year. We said,
Cool.
let's do this. We set it. A dream is a goal with a deadline, and we decided to give it a year, and then pivot. It's not that I would walk away from, but let's pivot. And if you're not doing something by that, and it was working out. And this little company came along called Blog Pause, and a lot of your readers or listeners may or may not know about it, but it was the first network for people who were blogging about, writing about, and wanted to make a difference in the lives of pets. Yeah. And here I am trying to find my way. I literally stalked them year after year. I call it stalking, to hire me. And I wore them down by the third conference. I went to every conference, and I wore them down in person. And they said, "Fine, you could have a job." And I said, "Don't even pay me for a while. I'll just show you what I can do." They said, "No, we'll pay you." And that's one of my key things is you've got to go after what you want, even if you think it doesn't exist. Then create the life you want, because I was so miserable for so long, and I can't take those years back. I wanted to do something to make a difference. So we gave ourselves a goal of a year, but it worked out.
Yay. So then what does that mean? Okay, now you're a professional blogger, and you get to, you do have a job with Blog Pause. So not really a traditional employment situation, but there are people that you have to report to.
Right.
So what did that mean to be able to get that business up and going, even though you were working for somebody else still, but in a new way? How did that change your life?
Yeah, I knew that even though I'm working full time for somebody else, and I'm a telecommuter for the past, since 2001. So just about 18 years I've been working remote, and that was a staple for me. I just work better individually, but I reach out to people every day, and the power of video conferencing and telephone, and you don't not leave your home, but it just is a good work environment for me. And I got more done this way than I ever did in any other work environment in person. And so for me, helping a business like Blog Pause get off the ground while I was building my own off the ground, there were a lot of similarities. And I was learning from what I was doing full time. And that getting that job was because I had a blog of my own. I was able to go to the folks and say, "Hey, I'm a professional pet blogger," and that's just it. I'm not a hobbyist blogger. You need to take yourself seriously. There are so many people who start a blog and they just hope it works, or they throw spaghetti at the wall, wait for something to stick. I had a plan from the beginning. I didn't know what that plan even looked like. It wasn't structured, but it was mine. And I knew every single month what my goals were. And one of them was to work for them while I built my blog. And I'll tell you, having my own blog has garnered me more clients. I am taken seriously as a journalist now. Years ago, bloggers were like that annoying little gnat that would go away. And I think we've come into our own because, watch TV. There are now reviews and commercials by bloggers. Like, this blogger says this. Bloggers can make or break a brand nowadays. And so you asked me what that afforded me. It afforded me a chance to be a side hustle entrepreneur while I worked full time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And now it's just you.
It is just me. So now let's fast forward to 2018. And through all of the contacts I made over the years and putting myself out there, I'm now one of the top dog bloggers in the country. I'm not afraid to give you my traffic. I'm garnering about 100,000 unique visitors a month. I'm on track. I'm trying to hit 250,000 by the end of the year. And these are people whose lives are being affected by what I say. I'm helping dogs. And that was ultimately why I got into this. I need to make an income, and I need to be a marketer, and I need to be smart about it, but I'm helping dog parents be the best version of themselves. And I'm also launching another blog soon, and I didn't even tell you that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you got me more interested than I already was.
Yeah, I want to
Now,
continue to help pet influencers, so I'm not going to let that go.
oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. Now, I know that it's never one thing, but
Yes.
if you had to attribute all of the traffic that you've been getting
Mm-hmm.
to one or two primary things, what would you say has been the most successful in driving traffic to your blog?
Really defining my niche or niche, depending on what part of the country you're from. I found out there's different ways of saying that. I talk with my hands. I don't know why.
I do
Really
too.
defining your niche. And that's what I did. Everybody's a writer. Everybody's in the pet space is related to pets in some way in what they write. But okay, so I was a dog blogger. That's still not enough. So then I was a health and wellness blogger. That's still not enough. I defined it to health and wellness for Cocker Spaniels and their canine friends. So I really went micro niche.
Yep.
And suddenly when I got serious and focused about me, the traffic came. I mean, if you build it, they will come is legit true. If you have to be, number one, be honest with yourself, because your readers are going to see right through it if you're just trying to sell them something or be overly marketing, or show them your personality and be real and know what your blog is about. And number two, SEO. I focused, as much as everybody says social media, 80% of my traffic is from search engine. So, which blew me away when I started realizing that, because I think I've got to spend all this time on social media. Maybe not really. Yeah, you need to be there, but people are going into their favorite search engine and looking for topics I'm writing about.
Yep.
And so that's been my two main things: is be honest with yourself, have a niche, and SEO to the roof.
Cool. So these days, what does a typical, if there is such a thing, well, I'll take out the typical, what does a day in the life of Carol look like?
Yeah, so it's right now, since I'm building my own space, I'm also freelancing. So I'm writing for some clients. Having a blog has afforded me the opportunity to pitch myself as a writer, because I am. And I pinch myself sometimes because I think, oh my God, I get to say I'm a writer. Because back years ago, you'd say, what are you? You'd say a blogger, and people would say, well, what is that?
Yep.
So a typical day is that I write for clients, I blog for myself, I'm pitching clients, I'm fulfilling contracts, I work with sponsors, I work with advertisers. I'm writing 2 books. I already am in the process of co-authoring one, and I'm building a site. So I still need to make money while I'm building me. And what's nice about having all this background in blogging is that through ad networks, through working with sponsors, and through programs that I'm involved in, such as affiliate marketing, I'm able to have a passive income while I'm building the new me. And just wow. I mean, if you put your mind to it and you're not afraid to reach out, that's what a typical day is for me.
Yep. And I am such a fan of passive income, and it doesn't really take that much of an effort to get something started that will run in the background. And
Right.
I sort of halfway laugh at the term passive income, because it's anything but while you're setting it up. But then it just keeps on going. Like the little Energizer bunny just keeps cranking along, and you look up and you literally, people say that the whole making money while you sleep thing is a scam. It is not.
No, it really
One
is.
of the first things I do when I wake up is grab my iPad and check the email and log into some sites and say, oh, look, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sales, here's this all. And it is very exciting to get up in the morning and check all of that.
And those are people who look forward to your stuff, Karon. I mean, honestly, like myself, I'm a fan, but people are going to come back to you because they know you're trustworthy and because what you say works. And that's the way I look at myself, that I'm not going to try to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge when I don't own it.
That's right. That's right. Well, and it's not just my own products, but the affiliate products that I have promoted and whatnot too. So it's awesome. Now you named, staying on the topic of money for a while, you named sponsored ads.
Yes.
Writing for clients. Did you say that?
Yes.
And writing for your own blog. You've got Mediavine ads. Yes. And I think I saw ads from Amazon.
Yes.
Those on there. What other ways do you monetize your blog and your business?
Yeah, so I'm writing, and again, writing an ebook. That's another way. So things like that. Affiliate marketing, ad networks, sponsored blog posts, reaching out to clients, for example, and I'll absolutely be happy to toot my horn on this one, is for 20 years, I was using a particular brand of dog products. And if I'm allowed to say it, I will. And if, that's up to you if you want me to.
It's fine.
Dr. Harvey's. So it was just part of our lives. You feed your dog this and you use their different products. And I thought, I wonder if they ever look for brand ambassadors, because I'm using it anyway. It's a natural part of my life. One of my biggest questions that I get, in fact, number 2 on the blog, is, what do you feed your dog?
Yeah.
Number 1 is, do you believe in vaccines? Anyway, I thought, everybody's asking me and I'm telling them anyway. So I facilitated a relationship with Dr. Harvey's. I showed them my history of working with them. I showed them how much I'm selling through Amazon for them. And I said, we use it anyway. What do you think? And so now I'm an ambassador for the brand, just like a sports person would represent Nike or, for whatever. But you need to take yourself seriously and own it. So that's another thing, is you could work with brands, and I won't work with many. I don't want to sound like a commercial or a billboard.
Right.
And so that's why my big thing is diversifying your revenue. If you plan to be a blogger, don't put all of your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I've seen that turn around and bite before, and that's not a good place to be. If you have everything that you're doing wrapped up in Google AdWords or AdSense on and then something changes, they don't want to have folks in your niche in the system anymore, or they decide it isn't worth it anymore and they take it away. Right. The same thing happened with people that depended solely on Google traffic, and then years ago, when Panda and Penguin and all the P's came out, literally overnight, at the flip of a switch, all the traffic to their site was gone.
And it just happened again. It's timely. I know the beginning of August, a lot of the money bloggers took a big hit because Google did something with their algorithm, and now they're scrambling for that, that SEO traffic. So that's why I stay on social media, because you just never know. But it's just like full-time employment. You just never know.
You don't.
And you just never know. And so after being laid off 3 times, it's, as I was telling you earlier, time to take matters into my own hands. You could do workshops, consulting, virtual assistant, build out email courses through a funnel. I mean, I'm converting now. You build out your email list. Oh my God, those are my loyal followers, and that's your tribe. You own your email list. You don't own Facebook. You don't own Instagram. And I always tell people, one word: Vine. Vine went down the toilet, and so those folks needed to find a new space. So what's hot today may not be hot tomorrow, but
it's true.
I don't want to live in a world where writing is not a part of it. So I always firmly believe there will be a place for us writers and bloggers out there, because if not, I'm moving. I'm moving to Mars or something.
Too funny. So my nephew, your son, and no, Carol and I are not sisters. This is all by grace that I get to be Dexter.
All my canine.
Dexter's aunt. That's right. What experience does Dexter have in being an internet influencer and ambassador?
I believe he was destined to be a politician. He wants to kiss babies, shake paws. I call him my PR manager. He's my puppy relations manager. And I'm telling you, everybody has the best dog in the world, and none of them are lying. Every dog is the best dog, right? Every cat is the best cat. He is something special. I knew that early on. And so for as much fun as we have together, he takes his job very seriously. His cuteness is his asset. His wiggle butt is his weapon. And if I show up without him, people don't talk to me. I always get, you get this. They look at me and then they look down. Where's Dexter?
Where's Dexter?
And if I flew, I won't take him. But that's another thing is that as much as I love Cocker Spaniels, I love dogs, he's part of my brand, but he's not my whole brand. I've seen people who they write around their animal, and then sadly, and like all of us, the animal passes away and then they're stuck. Right. That's why I don't have a blog named Dexter's Blog or Muffy's Blog or whatever your particular pet is. When that pet is gone, I've seen businesses tank, and I hate to monetize or to quantify an animal's life. And I'm not saying that, but that's why I get that question a lot, is why don't you have your dog as your blog? Because of that.
Well, let me ask you this on similar to that.
Mhm.
Are you positioning your business and your blog to be sold later?
No,
Okay.
no, this is me. I mean, until someday maybe I retire or something else comes along, but I'm finally building me, building my brand out for me that I mean, I'm going to launch my own business because I've always worked freelance or as an employee. And now and actually owning your own business is freelance in a sense, but
Right.
I don't know I mean, certainly if Mark Cuban came along and said, hey, flash some bills, but no, my goal is to work in this space, stay in this space, and make a difference for pet parents and pet bloggers.
Cool. Cool. Um, so what's going on with you in the future? You and I have chatted on Facebook a little bit about stuff that I won't mention because I don't know if it's time. And
Right.
then you're doing something else that I don't know about. What can you tell us now that's coming from Carol
Yeah.
Bryant
I'm
soon?
co-authoring a book that doesn't exist at this point in the world. It just, I cannot believe it doesn't exist, but it will soon. We'll be making the announcement by the end of September, my co-author and I. And
Okay.
once that announcement is made, we plan to launch a site and a Facebook group around it. And there's a need, there's a passion, and then I go right into writing my very first book for dog parents on how they can really work in tandem with their vet so that their dogs live longer, happier, healthier, dose of reality type lives.
Yeah, you've had just a tiny bit of personal experience with that, haven't you?
A little, yeah. And, I feel like I was led to this point in my life that everything that has happened to me, you're angry in the moment or you get sad when you lose a job. But I look back and I realize that darn quote of things happen for a reason. It's true.
Yeah.
It's really true. And my blog is growing. I'll have more fundraisers to help dogs in need, and I'll also continue to work in this space. And writing's my passion. I mean, if I can make a difference through my words, that's what matters to me.
Awesome. Where do we find you?
You find me at Fidose of Reality. It's Fidose, like dose of reality, but fidoseofreality.com. And that's my launch pad everywhere. You can get in touch with me on every social platform there or email. If you Google cockers or if you Google Carol Bryant dogs, you'll
Mhm.
see the impact that I'm making. I always like to tell clients that just Google me. How cool, because it took me 100 years to get there, but that's just it. Blogging is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Thank
For
you.
anybody that's listening to this, you're not going to get rich overnight. Don't try to monetize in those first few months with ads or think that you're going to be an affiliate and you're going to make all this money. I don't sit home eating bonbons and watching the change roll in. It just
Oh, come
doesn't.
on.
I know, as much as I want to. It takes work. And I love what you said, that it's not going to, like, if you're writing, you don't see that income right away.
No.
But once you put that out there, it's a leap of faith. But what isn't in life? Just, going, and everything's a leap of faith.
It is. It really is. And that was one thing that I had to learn was not to panic in the slow times. I mean, ideally you don't want a business that's just feast or famine that keeps, jerking, but everything is going to have an ebb and flow to it. So you're going to have slow times. You're going to have,
Right.
I can't take any more right now times,
Right.
but use the quote unquote downtime. It took me a long time to learn not to panic, that those are the times that you go in and you plant seeds. And, oh, that new affiliate, product that I wanted to become an affiliate for, let me set some stuff up for them. Let me record some videos. Let me do blog posts or start a chat in my Facebook group about it and get some feedback. And, these types of things, you're laying groundwork. And it's just like planting a garden outside. You put the seeds in, you water, you fertilize, you stand there and go, well, okay, we're not
Exactly.
eating cucumbers today, but
Yeah, and that's another thing I learned along the way, Karon, was that some of the folks that wanted to be bloggers and they just weren't hitting their mark, they couldn't monetize make money the way they wanted to. They didn't have a plan. And by that, I mean, this is the analogy I like. If you had a full-time job, you wouldn't show up and guess what they might pay you and wonder how you're going to get through the day and do potluck by, let's just see what happens on payday. Why would you do that to yourself with a blog? I actually set goals for myself of what I wanted to make every month.
Yeah.
Realistic goals. You know, we all want 6 figures, but that's not going to happen in the beginning.
Right.
So I would say in Q1, this is what I plan to make, and here's how I plan to go about doing it. It might not have been with tasks I wanted to do. I've worked in PR forever. I now know, you know, I'm going to be 50 this year. I now know that PR is a part of my toolbox, but it doesn't have to be all of it. And
Right.
so diversify. If you always have something going, narrow it down to 2 or 3 things and set your income goals. That's the biggest mistake I see bloggers making, is they hope that the money comes in and then they're puzzled why it doesn't. Well, did you set a goal and what did you do to go after it?
Yeah. And it's the, what did you do to go after it? People, and I call it the difference between making wishes and setting goals.
Nice.
But what did you do to go after it? Just because you name it, you know, and you make a statement, I want to make, you know, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, or whatever it is that you're going after, you do have to go after it. It's awesome to sit there and think that everything is going to flow into you naturally and without any effort whatsoever. No, has not been my experience anyway. So I do that. What am I going to do? If I am a third of the way through a month or halfway through the month and things are looking a little bleak, then drop back and punt. What can I do? What action can I take to get that money flowing? And if you need cash now, you figure out things that are going to produce cash now, and you leave the seed planting tasks for a couple of weeks from now or whatnot. If you're having, or if I'm having a month that is just absolutely gangbusters, I've gotten some mentions here and there, and people have sent out emails for me or what have you, then, you know, I may decide that I'm not going to run this particular promotion right now. I've been wanting to work on, you know, these other things to lay some groundwork. So I'll do that then. But it's being flexible and finding the balance in there, I think, because so many people, like you said, they want to do, I'm going to hammer down on Facebook and SEO, and they let everything else go, when email could be bringing them a lot of money, or, you know, all sorts of other promotional efforts, PR, and, you know, personal appearances or webinars or what have you. So find what's working for you. Keep that balance, make a plan, work the plan.
Exactly. And we're coming into the holidays. This is a key time for revenue for a lot of us, especially those of us in affiliate marketing, because people like to spend and it's really easy to click through to buy something. So for people who are wondering, start, I've got my Christmas content planned now.
Yeah.
As a pet blogger, you know, my stuff is out there and ready, because I don't want to wait till the last minute, because people shop year round. So yeah.
That's true. That's true. You are awesome. You are just one smart woman, and I appreciate your time so much and sharing all of your wisdom with us. And I would love it if this was not the last time that we did one of these interviews.
Let's do this. And I want to definitely have you on. I'm planning to start a podcast. So I'm just such a fan of yours, and you teach so many. And I find you very real. I never feel overwhelmed with your content. It's very real and doable, reelable.
Carol invented a new word.
Reelable. Karon, you are real, and it's doable, and you're an authority in the space. So I appreciate you too.
I appreciate it so much. Carol Bryant with Fidose of Reality.com. Thanks so much for sticking around with us. If you have questions about professional blogging, monetizing your blog, affiliate marketing, anything related to that, be sure and leave them below, and Carol and/or I will jump in and give you some advice or tips or suggestions, or just tell you maybe how Dexter managed to run into the cow babes and what he's up to these days. So
absolutely, please. I would love to help anybody out who's watching and needs a little bit of assistance. Definitely ask me questions.
There you go. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Have questions or comments? You can leave them below. And before you go, like or subscribe to the Marketing Words channel so you won't miss any future videos.